Hi, everyone. Welcome to Goodbye Bullshit, Hello Happiness. I'm your host, Atousa Raissyan. As you know, I have reformatted these podcasts to get the guidance questions ahead of time. Listeners send me questions that they want guidance on and answers for. And in these podcasts, I'll answer them to the best of my ability. And I just want to remind everyone again that I'm not a therapist. I am not a medical doctor. All the answers I provide, guidance I provide, is based on my own journey, healing experience, the work I do with my clients, my certifications, and putting it all together. And today's question that I received was, what steps can one take in healing from a narcissistic relationship of any form? Family, friend, romantic, and business. In order to answer that question, let's begin by understanding that label of narcissist. The definition is that anyone that is too self-absorbed or self-focused. It becomes easier when you are forgiving yourself and accepting yourself. So trust in yourself. And when you start building that trust in yourself, you sort of allow that trust in the world to open up, to see that everything is really happening. If I step back, not 10 steps back, let's go, 10,000 steps back. Let's go 1 mile back and look at the big picture. However big, go really high up and look at everything. Everything has been working out in your life. But that fear and focus on what you don't have has caused you to see that, oh, this is not working out. But truly, everything has come together really nicely to bring you to this point in time. And all of this then leads you to start really feeling that space in you that's just existing without labels, without identities, without needing to be anything or anyone special. You just exist and you move from that space in life. So those are the steps for any type of healing, especially one that's from narcissistic relationships, wherever place it is in your life. With that definition, and if we're honest with ourselves, we'll see that majority of people around us and even ourselves, we tend to think about ourselves a lot, about our safety, about what we want, what we desire, how we get it, what we need to do. So in a way, everybody tends to have that self-absorption, now some more than the other. And if we look at some of the traits of a narcissist, is that they're controlling, manipulative, and they want praise and adorance. Even those, we can find those traits in ourselves and majority of people. Wanting control, if any of us grew up in an environment that we felt life was just chaotic or things were happening to us and we didn't have any control, then we get into these places that we want to control life because we want safety and security. Manipulation of life. We want things to work out the way we want. We want the things we want. How do I get that? How do I make sure this outcome happens? And praise and adorance is something, again, majority of people want, is that they want to be heard and seen and wanted and loved and accepted and want people to say, I'm proud of you. You did a great job. Wow, that was amazing. So if you take all of those traits, I think you'll find a little bit of all of that within yourself. So once you see this, then you realize you cannot really judge outside or judge yourself. So it gets easier to let go of the judgment. Now, the steps for healing, again, take a little pause here too and remind you that everything that happens in our life is a mirror for us to see us, for you to see your own truth and what you need to heal within yourselves. So even those narcissists, and again, if you've read my book, Change Yourself, Change the World, you know that I've had my share of narcissists in my life. And for me also, it took a while to see those traits in me, that how I was being controlling, how I wanted to manipulate life to give me what I wanted, how I was looking for people to come and praise me and adore me because I didn't get that growing up. And so also the steps I'm sharing is in the book, Change Yourself, Change the World. I'm sure if you're following me on social media, you know that, I've talked about it. It's won several awards and I'm very proud of that book. But the steps are outlined there in detail if you wanted to go read a little bit more. But anyway, for the purpose of this podcast, the first step is taking responsibility and ownership of your life, meaning I'm responsible for my life. Everything that has happened to me or is happening to me or is going to happen, there's only one source for it, and it's a me. I'm responsible. I own this life. I own this life because I exist in this physical form. It is my life. Nobody else's. Nobody else gets to decide and choose. It is my choices. Whether I've made those choices consciously, unconsciously, it is still my life. I am responsible. I own it. Now that makes you feel power over your life, gives you that sense that the power you're looking for, that's where it comes from, that you're responsible and you own this life. From there, once you feel that and take ownership of it, then you start to become more aware as well. And awareness is a practice. Awareness of your thoughts, your actions, your emotions, all of those things, so that you can see, hey, I've been unconscious, sort of sleepwalking through my life, and I haven't noticed these feelings and emotions and thoughts behind things. Yeah, maybe I felt like I'm anxious, but I didn't go deep enough to see like these thoughts and when I'm becoming anxious, how I'm doing things. So awareness is really an important part to sort of pause in and see yourself, see all the things that come together to make you react and get triggered, and where you are trying to control things or manipulate life, or where you're really wanting the outside to give you all those things that you want, but then you're not open to receiving it. So awareness is really, really important in anything you do. And it's a 24/7 practice. Is if you're awake, you need to be aware of your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Now, this doesn't mean that you are resisting again or manipulating those thoughts or emotions or trying to hide it or trying to make it go away. It's a loving awareness. So that loving awareness makes it be open to receive it rather than a mindful awareness, which has more of a judgment to it. So we're not becoming aware of our thoughts and emotions to judge it. We are lovingly being aware of it. And from that place of loving awareness, then you are able to accept yourself, acknowledge yourself lovingly and unconditionally, that this has happened. I'm in this space and I've been behaving this way. I've been having these thoughts. I've been having these emotions because I haven't been aware. I have been judging myself, and all those things that happened in the past that I didn't see, it's got me to this point. Now that I've taken responsibility, now that I'm lovingly aware of them, I can unconditionally accept and acknowledge myself right here, right now, in this moment. And then from that space, also it becomes easier to see your choices because you're not in a place of judging anymore. You're unconditionally accepting yourself. You're aware, lovingly aware, and then you're responsible. So that means you're responsible for your choices. Now you get to see you always have a choice. Yes, sometimes it's difficult to make a choice, but there's always a choice. And again, that knowing and seeing that you always have choice. At this point in time, at the beginning of your healing journey, it's important. Later on, to be honest, even that, you let it go because you know life is flowing and life is giving you everything you want. So it's not about making the right choice or wrong choice. It's not even about making a choice. It's more about flowing. But at the beginning, when you're starting the healing journey, it's important to feel that choice, that I always have a choice, even if it's hard, because the identities are going on and there's that judgment happening. So this feeling that you always have a choice is going to be important. Then forgiveness, another big step. Whether you are, it's not a whether, actually. There's forgiveness of yourself, forgiveness of others, and even asking forgiveness. So it doesn't need to be you actually calling people up or sending them an email or a text, hey, forgive me, or, I forgive you. But it can be an internal process that happens, but it's a big process of forgiving yourself and forgiving others. And that becomes easier once you are more lovingly aware and accepting and acknowledging yourself. And forgiveness sometimes also happens in layers as well. So be mindful of that, because there are times that you think like you've forgiven someone, but then another thing pops up. So it does happen a little bit in layers. You're sort of like, imagine you've throughout your life, especially if somebody's been there for a long time, you've built these chains and ties and ropes with them about all those emotions and stories that you've been carrying. So it takes a little time to unbuckle and untangle these chains and ropes. And so forgiveness is like that. You're untangling all of these things and letting it go. And all of that brings you to this space of love and gratitude. Now, it's not a loving gratitude. Oh, I love my kids. I'm grateful for my house. I'm grateful for my health. Those are great things. But the more you take responsibility for your life, the more you become lovingly aware, the more you're self-accepting and acknowledging yourself, the more you forgive yourself, others, and ask forgiveness, then the space of love and gratitude naturally opens in you, where you are loving for yourself, you're grateful for yourself, for your body, for this physical form, and this gratitude for everything in your life, even the trees and the birds you see outside your window. So there's this space that opens up for love and gratitude for you to naturally feel it and feel that flow. And another step in that healing journey is also trust. And trust really takes practice and really takes time. And it is a trust that you trust yourself, your knowing, and trusting in life, that life is not happening to you. There is a flow, and you are part of this flow, connected to everything and everyone, and trusting that everything has a purpose and everything in your life is a gift. And again, it's not easy at first, so be patient, be kind to yourself. Trust takes time. Maybe start with trusting yourself first, your knowing that I know I exist. I know that this is good in my life, whatever that trust is. And also opening to see even the littlest thing that work out for you, really become aware of it and take it in. It's like, see, this worked out. That tells me, like, trust a little more. And again, coming to this place that life is flowing, you are part of that flow, and that everything is happening for you. And it's a gift. And it's a gift for us to see ourselves, to see these identities, these personas, these characters that we've played throughout our lifetime in order to feel safe, in order to feel loved, in order to feel wanted, in order to have security and safety. All of that, these different identities and characters, we're hiding in them. And it's time to let these costumes go, that let the identities, whatever you want to call it, personas goes, and find your truth in you, that you are just existence. You are existing in this physical form, flowing with life, experiencing and finding that space, that loving space in yourself that's connected to everything and everyone, and looking at everyone now with those same eyes, that they are going through their own journey of finding this space of existence within themselves. I can't remember. I was watching a video. I think it was probably Alan Watts that said it, and there's a lot of videos actually like that. It's not just Alan Watts, but if you look, you know how those videos they have from outer space, that it comes and, comes to planet Earth and goes deeper state, city, and goes all the way down to the molecule level. And when you go to the very center, to the deepest part, you'll see there's space between the atoms and everything. We are that space. And even if you then move up, then there's also that big, vast space. So that is our existence, the space that everything is happening and flowing, and letting go of our judgments and being willing to see everything with those eyes of love and kindness and compassion helps you along the way. I hope I've answered the question for whomever asked it. I don't ask, the questions are anonymous and I wanted it that way. But if you still have more questions about this, clarity about anything I've said, one of the best places, read the book, Change Yourself, Change the World. And I've expanded a little bit more beyond that into a multi-author book, which is going to become, I'm taking that chapter that I had in Divine, Activating the Divine Human. My chapter is called Activating the Divine Self. I'm taking that and making it into a full book as well. But right now, I think a good place to start would be Change Yourself, Change the World, or reach out to me with your questions. Thank you for joining me today. I'm sending you guys lots of love and peace. Bye, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. And if you have questions that need answering, please share them on my website, AtousaRaissyan.com. Under services, you'll find Goodbye Bullshit. If you like Goodbye Bullshit, Hello Happiness, please share with your friends and subscribe and like and review us. Thank you.